because that is a slippery fucking slope. But when she said, like, Kyle, you know, I was asked back anyway, et cetera, because you're close with production, it was really like saying you are production. And then I thought it was really interesting that Kyle wouldn't answer that because she's trying to protect Dorit because in reality, Dorit, you weren't asked back and you know it. And that's a slippery slope. You're lucky that Kyle stuck up for you, girl, right? Because she could have been like, Dorit, don't do this. But mind you, where's Kyle's proof? I mean, she's not prepared for this, and so she doesn't have any receipts. But that's right. Did anyone take that to that? That like basically this actually proves the point, Dorit, that you actually were going to be fired because Kyle's not answering it. And she is kind of helping you out. And she can't even really go against you because if she does, it's going to be your word against hers. And she was willing to do that with Bose because apparently she has receipts, but she has no receipts for this because she didn't think you were going to break the fourth wall. Does anyone else get all that from that interaction? Because I did. So anyway, let's move on. Where do I want to go from this? So it turns out that now Andy is asking Dorit about her marriage with PK, and we learned that, you know, the more time that goes on, there's less and less of a chance that they're going to get back together. Listen, Dorit, let me break it to you. I hate to break it to you. You're not getting back together with PK. I predict, because I mean, we do everything on air, right? Especially if you're Dorit. I predict that this season, I mean, you know, Kyle, it all happens whenever it happens because she's never going to be fired. But I predict that this season will end. We have 2 more weeks of, you know, the reunion. And after the reunion, we're going to have next week, we're going to have the week after the reunion, while we're trying to figure out next season, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 5. You know, it's not going to go on forever. They'll probably start filming right away. But as we discussed, we're slowing down filming at Housewives. I believe that they'll probably pick up cameras maybe 2 months later, I think. Look, we don't got anything else. I said Miami's coming back in March, and then, I mean, in June, and then we have the OC after that, but we're still filming the OC and then Salt Lake. I think Beverly Hills will probably be back before Jersey. Well, definitely before Jersey, definitely before New York, and definitely before Potomac, I think. But anyway, I think in that hiatus, while we're trying to figure it out, Dorit will announce that she is filing for divorce from PK. I just feel it. Now, he might announce that he's filing against her. Maybe he's doing that. Maybe they're in on it together, but I'm not saying it's a staged divorce. It's a real divorce. But I think in that hiatus, Dorit is going to announce that she's filing for divorce from PK. And that'll be your story next season. Let me be very clear. Let me be very clear to everyone. Dorit's coming back regardless. I don't think that's needed, but I think that's what's going to happen. And I think that that's her storyline. 100%. I think that's what's going to happen. Give it the break and then, excuse me, then she will file for divorce from PK. I see it coming. Okay. But she says that the more time that goes on, the less and less likely it is that they'll get back together. Girl, you're not getting back together. She says, as it is now, she can't see it, but that PK is her soul and he's her heart. And she's in love with him because Andy pushes it and says, are you in love with him? And she says, yes, but I need peace. True. Then they say that PK declined to be here today. Again, you called him an alcoholic. You called him a bad father. You called him a mess. You called him a monster on TV. Why the hell would the man show up? Right? Again, he said we asked PK. PK gets paid nothing for being there. Excuse me, everybody. PK gets nothing. So come and be called a monster on national TV again, all over again, and you're getting paid nothing. Then Andy says, well, PK has released a statement. Dorit turns red. What? Well, he did. And PK's statement says, I was invited to be part of the reunion, but declined because I don't believe engaging with Dorit in this forum would be constructive. I like it. I like how this is starting. Dorit has made several mischaracterizations about me. We just discussed those. But the one I must address is the claim that I am a bad father. That statement is both heartbreaking and false. It is deeply hurtful to me and more importantly to our children. And despite Dorit's assertion will inevitably see and hear all of this at a time not of our right. It's basically that it's hurtful to me and more importantly to our children who, despite Dorit's assertion, will inevitably see and hear. So the kids are eventually going to see this, of course. Those closest to us know the truth. Many have wanted to speak out, but I have asked them not to because the truth should never need a champion. Fuck yes. I say this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Adulthood is letting someone run around with whatever false narrative they have of you. Guys, I get it. And we work on this in the coaching sessions. Call me, book me for coaching. This is what we work on. You have to let people walk around this earth with a totally false narrative of you. Why would you care? Why would you care what someone that you don't even respect thinks about you? Why would you care what someone that doesn't even respect you? Why would you care what they think? This is what we work on in the coaching. Book me. I really will break you of this habit. But that is what I always say. The truth should never need a champion. Yes, let people walk around with whatever false narrative. As such, I live by that. Sarah's like, oh, you have to clap back at this one, this piece of trash, Kelly Dodd. First of all, you never clap down. And by the way, guys, jealousy never comes from above. It always comes from below. You never clap back. It's just a waste. So truth should never need a champion. I refuse to stoke a fire I did not ignite. Oh, you go, PK. This is good. The Dorit I married would never have allowed this, much less caused it. So he's implying she changed. That woman embodied kindness, integrity, and grace. I can only hope this version of Dorit finds her way back to the person she once was. Well, no shade, Dorit, but she ain't finding her way back to nothing. Dorit is in heaven. She's in heaven. And then we have flashbacks and he's crying. This is just what Kyle was saying. Dorit has changed. Look, I don't even blame her for changing. You know who says this? Catherine Edwards says this. If you are a certain person without fame and without money, those things will just exacerbate it. If you're a kind, nice person and you become famous or whatever, it doesn't change you. It really, truly doesn't. A lot of people think I changed from doing this podcast over 6 years. I haven't changed. I'm just busier than I was the prior 4 years before it. So, or 2 years. So I'm just less available to listen to someone's bullshit because I'm working all the time. But I would never change. I would never change. So it seems that Dorit has changed. I mean, she's loving this first seat. She does make me